I'm Satan, your Lord of Darkness, and you're watching The Horror Show! Ha 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 ha!
Welcome to The Horror Show. I'm Marsha Parker. Enjoy the bloopers.
What is it we're going to review today?
Odd Thomas by Stephen Sommers.
Directed by Stephen Sommers. Let's do that again.
Oh.
Okay. So what is it we're going to be doing?
Oh, are we really?
So what are we doing today, Marsha? What are we reviewing?
Odd Thomas by Stephen Sommers. God damn it.
All right.
You got me. Okay, wait.
All right. Now the movie is basically about a documentary crew who. Start
This
over.
is more of a
reporter. I was just going to change that.
Channel 12.
Channel 12. Thank you. Do you want to do this today?
This is how the rich people do it.
Pinky up?
Yeah.
Whoa. Wow. I hadn't been watching.
Well, thanks for watching.
Shit. Sorry. Okay, do it again. Go ahead.
Welcome to The Horror Show.
No, turn around.
You said turn around and say it.
All right, watch the bloopers. All right, I got it.
So, Susie, you were just in the Torture Couture Modified Minds talent and fashion show. What did you, well, not really talent, but fashion
Zsa Zsa
show.
Ganesh.
What did you think of Zsa Zsa Ganesh?
Oh my god, it's like the best experience of my life. Thank you.
What's it like walking that runway once again?
It was such. It was awesome. It was fun. It was such a rush. It was great.
You had your bitchy resting face on. Talk about that.
I know. What'd you think?
So what's it like being from Russia, as you are?
Yes. Very nice.
That's just an awful accent. Moving on.
Am I mistaken, or are those octopi that you are clad in at the moment?
Indeed, this is Misconstrued and Pink Moon Prophecy. They're incredible.
Very nice. And so who were you modeling for this evening? Was that who you just mentioned?
Indeed.
Twilight ones, and then you have all the way
Do
up
not
to
mention Twilight, I will come for you.
Not mention Twilight, I will come for you.
Okay.
See, that's Jaime's text.
Can't come, guys. Taking a shit.
Oh, actually, and for the spoiler review, hang on. Before you do, real quick, put that down.
It's empty anyway. You want to start this time?
I will not remember that. So let's tell you a little bit about what the story is about.
Yeah, about the story.
Heavy metal television channel. Man, goddamn, I'm a dumb fucking idiot. All right.
Well, you can check them out. We like them.
No, that's not. All right.
Which movie is your favorite?
You're fired. So do you want to do the comments or do you want me to do it?
Sorry, I couldn't help it.
I don't know why I just said that, but...
Hey guys, welcome to The Horror Show. I'm Susie Von Slaughter, and today we're going to do our...
Do you mind if I introduce myself too?
No. This is my show.
Like, she's flying solo, apparently, guys. All right.
Okay, ready? Okay, I'll wait.
Amelia Earhart over here.
Yeah. We're about to dance. She's gonna crash like her too.
Oh. Too soon.
Hello, I'm Skeletor, ruler of Eternia, and welcome to the Horror Show.
All right, get yourself on camera, son.
I'm trying, dog.
All right. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Horror Show. I'm Cecil Laird.
I'm Ian Fuego.
Get on here. Why are you always like half your body off the camera?
What's your drink, bro?
So, yeah, I'm Cecil Laird.
And this is your horror show news
with booze. Did I say my name twice?
Tell?
Probably. I got a little confused. I forgot how to do our intro. Big surprise. Guys, we first off, I'm still sick after a week. And so this is completely ill-advised, but, you know, doing what I can. Yeah, drinking out of my Michelangelo crazy straw.
Well, and I'm still showing love to the Nerdful Things, Rotting Flesh, our peeps from here in the AZ. What up?
My other glasses are being washed right now. So just as a point of reference, I am drinking vodka with pineapple juice and a splash of cranberry. Fuego, what about you?
I've got Cholula with diet beer. Whatever that may be.
That is Cholula hot sauce with diet beer. Just so you guys know.
Delicious. It's actually blood. I'm just saving face. So,
anyway, we are here to talk about this week's horror news stories.
Yes.
Let's make sure that
we have 9 watching.
Unavailable. Why is that unavailable?
Where's our chatty chats?
Yeah. Well, we can see it on the screen, but not on this. That's very weird. Okay, let's just check it.
Get into it. Well, it's not there either.
It's not there either.
What is going on?
Curious.
Curious.
Let's see what it looks like on the actual stream.
Madam Alice.
Horror show.
Oh, there
it is.
Yeah,
okay. It just popped up.
Isn't that a great thumbnail, guys? I must say, that's like one of the best.
That's a great thumbnail.
I think that's one of the best we've done. Rarely do I get to kill Cecil. Rarely.
Well, why not? You know. Yeah. Okay, so
who do we?
Yeah, I know that glass has a Green Lantern ring. That's why I like it.
Yes. One ring to rule them all? No, probably not.
I'm a big Green Lantern fan. Yes. So, okay, we got the chat situated. We are ready to go.
Sam Power!
So, Fuego, why don't you let them know the first story we are going to be covering today?
Just taking a quick glance at everybody we have here, and producer Dave, who will hopefully help us monitor some of the comments here. But the first story of the day, and the reason that I made this the first story of the day is because, for me, it is just so utterly tragic and disappointing, and I'm partially to blame. I haven't been watching season 3 of Ash vs. Evil Dead, and apparently
I don't have stars. I can't.
Very few people were. Yeah, I kept telling myself, I'm like, hey, I'm going to sign up for the app. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. We watched the first season back when you still had cable, like as it was airing, and I think we binged the predominance of season 2. But season 3 was one. The producers and the cast were very worried about kind of the lifespan of this show, and from what I was reading, they even filmed the final episode of this season as a potential where it could tie everything together, even though they did have ideas for a 4th season. But this week, Starz canceled Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Yeah, sucks. They were warning about it for a long time, but they did say somewhere along the way that if it did get canceled, they'd be able to pursue perhaps a feature film instead.
Yeah, and in that capacity, I'm actually hopeful that maybe they would do the long-rumored crossover with Fede Alvarez remake. How badass would that be? Honestly, there's a part of me that wouldn't even necessarily want, even if it's blasphemy for me to say. I mean, Sam Raimi only directed, like, what, a handful of episodes of this show? Bring back Fede to direct Ash, like we're talking cool. Ashley Williams and the chick from Don't Breathe in that crossover. That would be the shit.
That would be pretty cool.
But that's pretty much all that we have to hope for at this point, because the show's been canceled, and I heard this season has some of the best practical. The writing is crazy. I don't know. I would hope it was an improvement from season 2, because season 2 was kind of disappointing for me.
Yeah, I didn't think it was disappointing. I wasn't as engaged by it.
It was more of the same.
I liked the print ads for season 3 where he's, you know, standing across the gap of a mouth of a giant creature. It, like, gave me hope that he was going to fight a giant creature. I don't know if he does or not, but I'm excited to watch season 3 once it's in a place where I can actually access it.
Starz was a really tough medium, and even Luis, who's you know, member of the show from time to time when he gets a chance, him and I were talking about this at work the other day, and he was like, dude, wouldn't it be amazing if somehow, you know, because Netflix, for instance, streams season 1 and season 2, wouldn't it be cool if one of the streaming services swooped in and was like, no, let's do a 4th season and let's throw it on one of our platforms? That would be dope. But long story short, there's no more Starz Bruce Campbell, which kind of sucks. So there's not much else to mention beyond that.
No,
so
it's a bit of a bummer, but yeah, let us know in the comments. Guys, we're going to go ahead and go through the news stories, and we'll address the comments at the end.
Yeah.
Otherwise, lest us get distracted along the way. We have 11 stories to cover today, so
happens all too often. And we just trimmed the fat on 2 others.
We did have 13, but we dropped out 2 video game stories because you know they weren't necessary necessarily.
Yeah. So this is another weird one that I'm very shocked by, because of the fact that we just reported on this when we did our catch-up news. Yeah, catch-up, like Pulp Fiction. We did catch-up news on Tuesday, where everything that we didn't get the chance to cover with the Phoenix Film Festival, International Horror Sci-Fi Film Festival going down, we caught you guys up on some stuff, at least from our perspective, and we just talked about this, and apparently it's already been canceled. So Neil Blomkamp had this whole crowdfunding thing that he was doing for Firebase, which is the Vietnam story, his second of the Oaks films, if I remember.
Of the Oaks Studios, yeah.
Yeah, Oaks, and Boost. Thank you, guys. But long story short, so he had started this thing, and I must say, even though I reported about it with you on Tuesday in one particular fashion, I thought it was really weird that people were donating money to a crowdfund with no perks.
Yeah.
I thought that was really weird.
Well, that was just asking straight up for money. That was just begging.
And lo and behold, their turnover and their response was really, really bad. So much so that he canceled the whole crowdfund and canceled the whole idea.
People gave him a lot of crap for it.
People gave him a lot of crap for it, and the fans also were just like, you're not going to give us, like, like names in the credits. You're not going to give us, like, on-set stuff. You're not going to give us any cool perks or whatever. And to a degree, that's not, like it's one thing when you toss money their way and they give you some sort of cool little, I don't know, memorabilia aspect or whatever. But if you're just straight up giving somebody money to make a movie, I don't know. People were turned off by that. And once again, the returns were so low that he just said, you know what, within the span of a week, maybe this wasn't the best idea.
Yeah.
And he canceled the whole thing. He refunded all the people who donated money. And where does that studio idea go from here? Give me Alien 5. Please.
Get over it.
I'm not.
I'm
never going to get over Alien 5.
It's not happening.
But I mean, are you surprised that the strange structuring he went with turned some people off?
No, I'm not surprised at all. I mean, just the same way that Zach Braff got big time backlash when he did the first Kickstarter, from a celebrity standpoint.
Was that the sequel to Garden State, or was that? I'm trying to remember.
No, because he got it off the ground and he made it. It wasn't a sequel to Garden State.
Well, it was his follow-up directorial.
But still, he got a lot of crap, and he was still doing perks and stuff. Of course, Neil was going to get crap for this. I don't know why people would think he wouldn't.
Yeah, it was an odd approach, I must say. I didn't understand it, and I didn't mention it very plainly at the time because I wanted to see this movie made, and so I was just going to zip my lips and shut the F up and hope it happened. But yeah, there was unfortunately no update as to if he's trying to seek outward financing or whatever is going down, because I would love to see, I mean, any of the first three, I would love to see the Zygote, where there was all the humans all mushed together, the super sci-fi alien ripoff one that he did. That was dope. This one was more of like the Predator ripoff. I don't know. I just want to see Blomkamp creating because he's so incredibly talented, Chappie aside. Yeah, I don't know. There's not really much else to say beyond that, and maybe they approached it improperly. So
perhaps so. So Fuego, what be next?
Perhaps. The next story is actually going to be the fact that I'm assuming the Doom renaissance beyond the video game has carried over into the Hollywood sphere, because there's another Doom movie in production now.
I'm excited about that.
It has not been officially announced, but the lead actress, whose name is Nina Bergman, she's apparently a singer, and she's done like a few things here or there, so she's not like big top-level stuff. She signed on and like tweeted about signing on to this, and Universal Pictures is producing it. It's going to be a reboot, so it's not a sequel to the 2005 film that had Karl Urban and The Rock. Man, that movie, dude. That movie sucked.
It wasn't great, but at the time, I enjoyed the first-person shooter part.
Well, the one part where they went into that in the movie. But so beyond that, we don't really have any details beyond the fact that this singer and actress is tweeting and saying the script is far better. We don't know if it's going to be VOD, if it's going streaming service, theatrical, what. There's really no indications beyond that. But I think the universe is so rich with a portal to hell on Mars. That is dope and such an awesome idea. And I actually really liked the second Doom game when I played it on PC. I didn't play the original on PC, but I played Hell on Earth on PC, and that was just where they enriched everything. Although I must say, my favorite in the Doom series, I know you liked the return to the run and gun with this reboot. I like Doom 3 the best because of the fact that it felt much spookier.
It was
to me.
more of a horror game.
Yes, it was more atmospheric, and you're crawling through the corridors and everything and just waiting for something to jump at you, as opposed to just running around and shooting the shit out of stuff. So I know that game performed very well with its sales, and so yeah, obviously Universal's like, hell yeah, we acquire the rights, or we still have them, or whatever it may be. Let's do another one. So it could be done better in your estimation.
I think it could definitely be done better, and I would love to do it. No, but yeah, I would be excited to see a good Doom movie because it's demons galore, and if you could actually see some physical representations of some of the what would make sense to me would be set it up to be an arena situation where there has to be progressively crazier demons.
Well, that's
so you
how
get
it,
the
that's
flying.
how it went
I
in
know,
the
I
game.
know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So there has to be like the flying eyeball demons, and then go up against the cyber demon at the very end. The way they did it in this Doom was good because the cyber demon was the big last boss, and it would be really cool, big cybernetic demon that's huge, and you would just have to have a few survivors make it towards that point, so you could have a little bit of cannon fodder.
So since I never played the
Get the
newest,
BSG,
well, since I never played the newest one, was it just another riff on that huge hulking, horned, half cybernetic guy that you saw in the original game?
But he was the big boss, and so you had to really be careful about how you beat him and stuff like that. They didn't even get to the spider brain guys yet. Yeah, I mean those guys were awesome.
Great.
Yeah, so there's a lot of cool stuff that you could do if you did it sort of in like an arena. Like what if instead it was like, what if you tweak it just a little bit, right? You tweak it just a little bit from the game, and you have the portal. You have us go into the portal. Nothing comes out of it. We go into it, and we get dumped into a arena battle where anyone that meanders into this dimension has to fight.
So like you're in hell, and
you're
it's like
in hell, and you have to go through.
Kinda...
you have to go through a big cycle of demons in order to earn your way out, kind of thing. And that's the thing, you could tie it in where the only people that could actually step through the portal are people with sins that are worthy of putting them down there.
Okay, now I know that you want to make this movie.
I'm telling you, there's a lot of cool stuff you could do.
Yeah, there's so much, man. I was a fan of the novels. I still remember very vividly reading Knee Deep in the Dead, which was a novelization of the original game, and man, I just love this franchise. Even though I didn't play the most recent game, I played every single other one, including Ultimate Doom with that.
You can play it here. We could do a Let's Play with you. We could have Fuego Let's Play this Doom.
Oh, I was a huge Doom fan.
We should do it.
I love the shit out of Doom.
We could go get the Doom VFR.
Ooh.
Virtual reality.
You've talked about that before.
Yeah, we could do that.
Gears are turning. Well, we
so
don't
we'll think about that.
Take forever about Doom, guys. But yes, give us your thoughts here. We are jumping over to another game-based thing in the fact that when we talked about Alien Day earlier this week, we were just like, well, since there isn't a new film coming out, how excited can we be about Alien Day? And they're trying. There's a new comic series coming out. There's a few other tie-ins, including a VR tie-in that I didn't mention it because of the fact that it's an on-site VR tie-in that they're doing in Orange, California, where you go to these specific sites where they have these virtual reality machines and people sit down and they can play this new experience. But this one is actually pretty dope because it's going to be available exclusively through all Amazon Alexa devices, which I'm assuming is like Fire Sticks and some of those little listening stations and whatever. But it's called Alien Off-World Colony Simulator. And it's a full-on survival horror simulator where you essentially go around, and I'm going to read the description. It's between.
Is it LV426?
I'm not sure. They didn't specify that in the press release, but it's up to 4 players. It's turn-based. It's an adventure exploration game. You collect items. You solve puzzles. You answer trivia questions about the alien universe, and yeah, it actually goes live 1 minute before Pacific Standard Time of midnight crosses over to April 26th. So it's going to be something playable and something that I honestly really want to do since I have various Alexa devices. And
what day of the week is that?
It's a Thursday, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. We could work that out.
Yeah, so that would be dope.
Wences is here. Damn, had a long time.
Wences?
Yeah, Wences. We haven't seen Wences in a while. All right, so someone did correct me, by the way. Cyber Demon wasn't the last boss. My bad. I played through it one time, and I meant to play through it on hard. I can't remember.
Sinister Cinemas. Jason, what up, dude?
Yeah,
I am
Jason's
loving your Tales from the Crypt content, man.
He's coming down for the first 2 days of Man Monster.
You were telling me that,
I'm excited about that.
Yes.
Okay, so let's not get distracted. Fuego.
Yes.
Next story.
Jump over. Okay, so this is one that we're going to breeze through very quickly because of the fact that they just dated a new Conjuring film, yet did not specify as to which one it is. Pretty much, if you do the narrowing down approach, it's going to be either Crooked Man or the third Conjuring film, and it has been dated for a very prolific July 3rd, 2019, which leads me to believe it is not the Crooked Man. It is definitely going to be the third Conjuring movie, which unfortunately they're saying James Wan's not going to direct. I know it's blasphemy to some fans of the franchise.
That's what happened with Insidious.
He
did Insidious 1 and 2 and bailed on 3.
Yeah. I liked the second Conjuring better than the first Conjuring.
I liked it better too.
Yeah,
I did. The first one was really good.
Disagree with me about
but the second one I really, really liked. The second one had more scares for me, and the Crooked Man
had a lot more heart to
the
it,
Crooked
in my
Man and the
opinion,
Nun were two of the scariest things in a horror movie recently to me.
Which is why they're getting spin-offs of their own.
Such a good job with those. Yeah.
Annabelle, terrible spin-off until we got the sequel. The sequel was very good. I thought it was quite strong. Yeah, we'll see how the Nun goes later this year.
Lane Tacey, I've never seen that name before. You guys are awesome. It's always a blast to see all your videos. Thank you very much, Lane.
Dope status.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited about this. I mean, I don't care what it is. I honestly would prefer Crooked Man over Conjuring 3.
But at such a prolific time as July 3rd, summer movie season, you have to think, I mean, didn't the previous Conjuring films come out in the summer? Because I know we saw Conjuring 2 in the summer.
You're right. It's probably the third Conjuring movie. But... oh man, I just hope they don't bail on the Crooked Man. The Crooked Man is so good.
No, dude. It's in pre-production. It is indeed happening. Okay. I just don't think it's going to get such a top-tier release window.
Okay,
is what I'm speculating.
Well, luckily the popularity of horror recently has started to make every month of the year top-tier time. I mean,
check out the fact that A Quiet Place is going to roll the box office for it almost won last week, to be fair. And then it's going to win this week against Rampage. And obviously, it's not going to win next week with Infinity War coming out. No chance in hell. That is actually tracking right now to be even beating Force Awakens, which I will say right now, I do not think that is transpiring. I do not think that the third eventually... You think it's going to beat Force Awakens despite the fact that...
Of course.
That was
it's the most anticipated movie of all time.
But that was the first new Star Wars movie.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
We're divisive on this.
The pre-orders have blown Force Awakens out of the water.
True. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I mean,
they've done a lot of legwork in the last decade.
It's going to make the most money of any movie ever.
Yeah. Dino Might.
All right, Dino's here. Melody. Man, we got a lot of new names here. Repeat, aka the groom of Reanimator. Oh, cool. Yeah, what's up? All right, so we're both excited about new Conjuring. Fuego, let's move into the next one. I didn't have a thing pulled for the Conjuring, so I'm gonna bring up the It Chapter 2.
Yeah, and this is one that I've actually been discussing with fellow horror friends this past week, and there's a lot of mixed feelings about this. So, one of the greatest things about the It remake, even though I didn't absolutely adore it like a lot of people, I really, really liked it, though. And they're changing cinematographers. They've decided
That's a bit of a bummer.
They've decided very divisively not to go with the original guy who did the first film, but some of the justification that I've read is because of the fact that they're adults now, they want a slightly different look, they want to feel like time has passed, so on and so forth, and they're bringing on a guy who has worked on The Strain, or at least I think it's a guy, he's worked on The Strain and True Blood, Checo Vadisi, you know, and both of those, I mean, True Blood started out good for the first few seasons at least. I don't know, Charlene Harris's novel, they eventually just went so far from it that I don't know, couldn't like it, but the first few years I thought were good. The Strain I have yet to watch, though, so I can't make a direct comparison, and, you know, Guillermo with the source material and whatnot, but there's a lot of backlash and worry from fans about the fact that It Chapter 2 is not going to have that same... It had such a cinematic look, dude.
It absolutely did.
Dude, you and I thought it when we saw that first trailer, and the swooping cameras and stuff, we were just like, wow, this is a pretty big difference.
Yeah, well, it doesn't mean it's going to be bad. It just means it's going to be different.
Yeah.
Which is a bummer because I did absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite horror movies of all time. So what? Did that hurt? Did that hurt a little bit?
No, well, it's not one of my.
I love it. I love that movie.
It's good. It's pretty damn
good.
As
far as scary clown movies go, that's the one I would point to because they did so many cool creative things in it.
I still like Clown better, and I'll stick to the
Clown
book,
is
but
great.
That's just me.
I still need to watch Terrifier. I'm actually excited to watch that.
Hasn't everybody we know
reviewed
Terrifier
it? We're the only
at this
ones
point,
that haven't.
Whether it's Monty
Everyone's
or
like,
Drum
Art the Clown.
Domes,
So I do want to see it, and who knows?
Art
the Clown might blow us away, but we'll see. I don't. It's not discouraging. It's just a bit disappointing.
Yeah, for me, I'm honestly beyond the cinematographer. I'm more worried about the fact that the guy who did the polish on Cary Fukunaga's script is the one solely scripting the new one. And honestly, you know that I did that video where I read Cary's script, and the finished product was not very far off from what he did, dude. There was a few tweaks here and there. I'm really curious what this new guy is going to do, you know? Because he's credited along with Cary Fukunaga, but it's pretty much all Cary's ideas in the kids' movie. So That's what I am much more worried about, but the cast is shaping up to be pretty dope, as we talked about last week on the news, you know, with Jessica Chastain and James McAvoy, and I'm less cool about Bill Hader, but that was Finn Wolfhard's choice, so whatever, give the kid his due. Speaking of Finn Wolfhard, we can jump into the 3rd season of Stranger Things, adding 2 big names, and they're apparently filming already, because one of the Duffer brothers, I want to say those guys' names are, they were already tweeting photos from the set with Ms. 11 herself. And, yeah, they have added none other than Carrie Elwes. Yeah, that's right, from Princess Bride and Men in Tights and Saw and all that other jazz. But also, more equally interesting to me, is Jake Busey, Mr. Shasta McNasty.
Mm-hmm. Jake Busey.
Who's also in the new Predator movie where he
was the murderer in The Frighteners.
Playing his dad's kid.
He was the murderer in The Frighteners, and he was the saboteur in Contact.
He was in The Frighteners.
Yeah. He was the bad guy.
Like super silly shit.
No, but he was also the saboteur in Contact. He blew up the device before she could get into it.
I hated Contact, so that's probably why I don't remember.
Oh, yeah, no, he's been in a lot of stuff, man. Yeah. And he's got, you know, the teeth to rival his dad.
And you can tell he's his father's son, I mean, for God's sake. But,
exactly.
Yeah,
but
he is talented, and with Carrie is the one I'm much more interested about the addition of, I have to say.
Hopefully he loses a bit of his Saw weight. He's a little bit heftier now.
He can't be stud muffin status like he was in Princess Bride, dude.
Wesley,
well, I mean,
as you wish.
As you wish.
Yeah, Dr. Gordon, exactly. Ms. Bond knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Hazy Days.
Yeah, that's right. Ms. Bond loves her some Saw, dude.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
All right.
That's why she was so stoked about Upgrade, which is from one of the Saw directors, right?
Oh, I don't know.
I think so. Anyway.
But yeah, no, I'm excited. Stranger Things, and I trust them. Carrie, I think would fit into the Stranger Things '80s world very, very well.
A little more
Jake
so than
Busey,
Jake?
I'm a little
hesitant
on. Exactly.
Nice,
but you know, allow him to prove me wrong. I'm fine with that.
Coolio. Well, as far as another '80s franchise, Stranger Things being an '80s emulating franchise, and this one being an actual franchise that I loved the hell out of so very much.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much the cartoon, but definitely the original movie and the toys was where I was at with Masters of the Universe. That original Masters of the Universe movie, despite the fact that I had to take it into the real world.
Not the cartoon for you?
I enjoyed it, but dude, when I revisited...
love the cartoon.
I enjoyed the cartoon, but when I revisited it, we turned it into a drinking game where He-Man does gay things.
Oh, well...
Yeah. Not that that's a bad thing, but it was just...
The ambiguously gay duo.
Yep. That's exactly right. It was very much of that ilk. And so, some stuff with Tim and Orko, and I don't know. It's just very, very strange. But nonetheless, I felt like because remember, with the action figures, there was a little comic that came with each action figure.
Oh, really? I don't remember that.
Yeah, there was individual little comics. I still remember the one with Snake Mountain and various other things. So there was an included comic book with each of the action figures when you initially purchased them. But long story short, I loved the film from the late 80s, and I thought the guy who played Skeletor especially did a hell of a job, man. The makeup work, some of the practical in that film is amazing.
That was Frank Langella.
Yes, there you go. That was the name that I was trying to think of. But I've been trying to get this remake off the ground for a long goddamn time. It keeps losing directors, and I didn't want Mick G to do it, dude. The last time we talked about this was when he was announced after
but Mick G just pulled off a good movie on Netflix, right?
Yeah, The Babysitter, but for what it was worth. I mean, that was very slick, and I feel like his sensibilities...
I still like Charlie's Angels. I thought that was a good movie.
The first one was good.
It was fun. Yeah.
Anyway, so they have apparently, after David Goyer decided to just script it and not direct it, they this past week found their new directors, which are none other than, where the hell did I write their names? Aaron and Adam Nee. They're not knights who say nee, I assure all of you. But they directed a film from 2015 called Band of Robbers. I don't know. My hope here is that, and it was a celebrated indie picture, so I'm hoping it's very similar to where the director of Clown and the cop whatever movie that had Kevin Bacon in it, the guy who went on to direct Spider-Man Homecoming.
Right.
I'm hoping that they're plucking somebody from the small indie verse. Even James Gunn could be considered in similar territory, where they see for a big franchise somebody who comes from this smaller world of creativity that has the capacity and the creativity to make something awesome out of it. But I can't say I've seen the movie or know really much of anything about these two guys, but I do want to see another interpretation of that universe, these masters of the universe, because I love love Masters of the Universe, man. And yeah, how about you? Were you fond of the
I
property?
did. I love He-Man. I love She-Ra and the Masters of the
She-Ra,
Universe.
Hordak for the win.
Dude, I liked it all. I dug them. I liked Thundercats more. But I tell you what,
I was He-Man over
no,
Thundercats.
No, Thundercats for me.
No,
but I do have the Amazing Comics where they crossed over. They did Thundercats and He-Man crossing over, and it was Skeletor teaming up with Mumra.
Well, I know
it was fucking amazing.
I know they've relaunched Thundercats as a cartoon, and I know that they did that same thing with He-Man too. Like
Thundercats needs a live action. I want to see a live action Thundercats bad.
Did you ever watch the new He-Man?
It could be so cool.
The new He-Man,
no,
where
I didn't,
it was like late.
No, I never watched the new Beavis and Butthead either, but I always wanted to.
New He-Man, he was on like a different planet, and Skeletor somehow ended up over there. Anyway, guys, I digress. I was a big Masters of the Universe nerd.
So I'm down. But let's move on to the next one, which is apparently the hottest of topics on Killer Flicks.
Oh man, I must say, you know, I love Cody and Lee and all our cats from over there, but I'm not very excited.
Man,
about the
everyone
new
is
Halloween
just
movie.
all up on this
Sorry,
movie's
dudes,
nuts.
I'm not that excited about this film, but I'm at least intrigued by the fact that John Carpenter, by Jason Blum of Blumhouse, has been confirmed to be scoring this new. They're just calling it Halloween, which amuses me even more. There's no subtitle of any kind. It's just being called Halloween, even though it's been described as a sequel to the original movie, retconning everything after that, including the sibling aspect with him and Jamie Lee. So, hey, John Carpenter has been in music mode for a while. We were going to go see him when he was on tour here, stopping through Arizona. He was doing the Lost Scores or something at the time. So he is in full-on music creativity mode. He's been playing live quite the bit, doing both stuff that you had never heard before and classic scores from all of his iconic films. So I'm down for this. I feel like the guy has been reinvigorated musically, and hopefully he will do something pretty rad status. What do you think, man?
I'm excited about it because I like, you know, everyone. It's so funny when everyone talks about all these '80s throwback movies. These, you know, your Turbo Kids, your Summer of '84s,
both of which from RKSS.
Both of which are amazing. Your It Follows all of these are all throwbacks to the synthy style that John Carpenter really popularized.
Totally ripping it off in my estimation. And that doesn't mean those are bad films or bad scores. They're all great.
No, but you got to give credit where credit's due. So knowing that the Superman of synth is coming back,
the master
to do
of
his
horror,
the master of horror, exactly. Doing the stuff again is exciting, and I want to know how he's going to update it, because you know it's going to be the do 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 do. But how will it be different? Because it's a new thing. Like, I'm excited to see how it'll be different.
Yeah, I just don't want. I mean, it's obviously going to be like, what, 40 years later at this point? Remember 20 years ago when we did Halloween H2O, that was 20 years later, and I don't know. That's
that
maybe,
one too.
That's maybe one of the reasons why I'm approaching this a little skeptically. You know, I'm not
skeptical about it. I'm just not like bonered up about it yet.
Bonered up. I got such a hard on for this new Halloween movie, ball. Oh, it looks so good.
I do like, you know, listen, Michael Myers is a great boogeyman.
Yeah, if I'm going to go for a silent killer instead of somebody with personality like Chucky or Freddy, I will always go Michael Myers over Jason. Because, you know, as I was telling you the other day, I always thought I'm not the biggest Friday the 13th guy. I always felt those were the most lowbrow of the iconic slasher series.
Yeah.
Really were.
Yeah, Michael Myers did have to have a little bit more nuance.
Yeah, even in the later ones with Paul Rudd and Daniel Harris and all of them, I still thought those were just a little, I don't know, it's the slightest bit more sophistication than those later, than pretty much any of the Friday sequels. Yeah. Except for maybe 4.
So needless to say, we're both super excited about this. Hopefully you guys are as well.
Excited about him scoring, not necessarily about the movie.
Now, just real quick, I want to address Dr. Shrimp Puerto Rico, because he asked 2 things. You guys need to make another short film ASAP. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Which one are you talking about? The new recruit or whatever the hell it was? The one where...
No, Sweet.
Oh, I know, but I'm just joking about the new hire.
Oh, the new guy? Yeah.
The new guy.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, that definitely, he must be referring to that. Good point.
That one's not that
Good
bad.
joke, Fuego. No, it was rough. But
I got killed in that movie, guys.
He also asked, Cecil, how's the fitness thing going? I had to take a couple of weeks off from the workout because of the Phoenix Film Festival. I was at work 12 hours a day, and then I immediately had to go watch like 2 movies and do reviews and stuff like that each day for 2 weeks pretty much. And then I got sick immediately after, which I'm still sick, which I sound stuffed up as hell. So that's why. So I just wanted to address that real quick before we launch into the next story, which is one that I asked Fuego to do. I will say right up front that this is from a somewhat questionable source. We got this from iHorror. They made the announcement that apparently Fred Ward is in rumor talks to come back to the Kevin Bacon Tremors TV series on Amazon, correct?
Yeah, which is apparently separate from the series that we are seeing the new installment on May 1st of, which is the Tremors movie series regular.
Correct.
A Cold Day in Hell. It has Jamie Kennedy, has Burt Gummer, that's right, Mr. Michael Gross, who I just watched the other night, man, for my new Hail to Stephen King review. I did Sometimes They Come Back Again. Mm-hmm. And dude, it had.
I like sometimes. Actually, no, I like Sometimes They Come Back for More.
Okay, again.
Sometimes They Come Back Again was terrible.
Really? That's
well, it wasn't terrible. I actually thought all three of those were okay.
Michael Gross,
but I always find 1 and 3 are best in the Stephen King straight to video ones.
Okay, Michael Gross, he's looking very much more family ties than Burt Gummer in that he doesn't have the mustache or anything, and it had Hilary Swank in it. I was just like, wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but in any event, I would love to see Fred Ward come back. I've said it since he left after the second film. He was the main character in the second film. Remember, Burt was like a sidekick once again. And
October '74?
And then he took over after that one. And I actually really liked the one number 2 in Mexico, man.
I did too.
I still remember
the Ass Blasters is where it lost me, but then it got me back with the fourth one, going to the prequel with El Blanco.
Yep, that's right.
So I'm a Tremors fan. I liked 5.
Same here.
I'm excited about 6. We get to review 6 in just a couple weeks.
Yeah,
Super
Brian
pumped
already
about that.
beat us to the punch.
Yeah, he beat us to the punch by watching a low freaking. I can't stand. Listen, if I'm going to vent a little bit, I can't stand the fact that people are reviewing a 360p version of Tremors 6 and, calling it an actual review. You're not seeing the actual movie at that resolution. That's garbage. You're seeing pixels.
It's a garbage bootleg at that point.
I don't like that. I don't like that. I'm not a fan of that.
It's almost clickbait.
I'm not a fan of that. And I would tell those people, I think it was the Horror Show Entertainment and Geek Legion of Doom, not to call them out on it. It's just because look, I get the idea of jumping on it. It's just a bummer that you're basing your review on a 360p bootlegged version of a movie. It's not. Look, as an aspiring director, if I made a full-length feature and people reviewed a 360p bootlegged version of it that you couldn't see, I'd be pissed.
Upset, yeah.
I would generally reach out and be like, look, can I send you an HD version so you review that instead, motherfucker?
Well, it's for the same reason that I still remember when I had Napster and Bad Religion were putting out their comeback record, The Process of Belief, and that had Sorrow on it and one of their biggest songs ever. And I remember downloading an early version that had leaked online, and when I bought the record, there was more instrumental tracks added to each song. It sounded so much better. There was different things here and there, and I can imagine someone where somebody doesn't get to offer you their creativity to the proper capacity. They would be pissed if that's what you're critiquing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And rightfully so.
So nonetheless, it's a bit of a sidebar. I'm excited to review the actual version of Tremors 6 that comes out.
And I'm excited and hopeful that this goes to series at Sci-Fi. It's so funny how it's coming back to Sci-Fi after that Tremors series previously was on Sci-Fi.
What I like is after I've cut the cable cord and some other stuff, I've been getting back into buying actual Blu-rays now, and what I find are the only ones I actually go out and buy day one are like Cult of Chucky, Tremors 5, it'll be Tremors 6, and I got Leatherface, and I got the Hellraiser one.
But thankfully you didn't go by Deep Blue Sea 2.
No, that would have been a big mistake, which we need to finish after we're done with this. I'm
Deep Blue
super excited about that.
Deepest, bluest, my head is like a shark fin.
Anyway, hopefully Fred Ward does come back. But let's move on to the last story, which is Fuego's most excited story.
I snuck this in.
I'm fine with it because I've been seeing the same poster or pictures that you have, actually.
Yeah. So I put in press for us at the horror show. I was actually supposed to go cover it with a friend of mine, and neither of us were approved press because there was just such a massive demand for it for this particular festival, the Overlook Festival, which moved from its previous spot, which I can't remember if it was in Colorado or if it was in California or something, but it was moved to Nolans. That's right. For this particular year's incarnation, it was going to be screening Hereditary, which is the new A24 that has a lot of buzz, but the biggest thing, at least for me as a big-time fan of the franchise for probably 20 years at this point, was the fact that Puppet Master, The Littlest Reich, which is kind of like a pseudo-soft reboot of the franchise, was going to be making its world premiere and debut at this festival. And there's very few times where I will go and read a review from a festival, especially of a film that I'm very excited to see. But this one was where, especially with the talent associated with it, I was like, okay, Fangoria is producing it. The guy who did Bone Tomahawk is writing it. What is going to happen with this property that I love so much? We saw some photos of the puppets. They look kind of but from what everybody is saying, this movie is so bonanza, whacktastic, insane, gory, crazy, and lots of off-kilter, just inappropriate humor as well. Based on reports, I cannot wait for the summer release of this new Puppet Master film. They're saying that there's no way it's going to get an R rating. That's why it couldn't be properly released theatrically. It's unrated, it's bloody as hell, and, slight spoiler, there's not just one of each doll.
I'm excited about this. Honestly, I would not have thought I would be.
Yeah.
But these sorts of reports make me excited about it. So, and the fact that it's from the Bone Tomahawk guy's brain, you know, that's exciting.
That's
Even
Craig
though
Saylor.
I did not like.
I loved Brawlin'. I loved Brawlin' Subblock 99. It was some of the execution.
It's just that last shot really
was
pissed me
problematic.
off.
But I thought that story just how, I don't know. He had such good intentions, despite. I mean, it was a very like martyristic approach to that writing. I loved Brawlin' Subblock 99.
I just like that
movie
they're
was
getting
badass.
back to the roots of Puppet Master here. They're not supposed to be anti-heroes.
Yeah, Puppet
They're
Master.
bad things. They kill people. They're
True.
not supposed to be the heroes of the story.
Puppet Master for me has
Puppet
been
Master
shit.
saving the world from Nazis.
Yeah,
Bleh.
yeah, and that was where they tried to cross them over and sell more toys and all that other stuff. You know, with the third installment, and the third installment was good. 4 and 5 were, you know, where they were fighting the totems and all that crap. I love the Puppet Master franchise, but I have not loved the Puppet Master franchise since Entry 5. Whether it was Retro Puppet Master, Curse of the Puppet Master, all that crap, I hated, and the Access films and Legacy with all the reused footage. God damn, did I just want to punch something. I was so mad. Puppet Master 2 is the quintessential Puppet Master film in my estimation. It's the only one that I really recommend anybody watch. Seriously. Puppet Master 2 is great. Maybe watch 1 and 3, but they're both very mediocre in there. But I mean, Puppet Master 2 recycled the same thing as number 1, where it was like, oh, psychics come to this hotel and blah blah blah. But 2 just had better kills and a more interesting story and stuff like that. It was very much Evil Dead 2 compared to Evil Dead 1 as far as just rehashing the ideas. But I always loved the dolls. As you remember, when I first joined the show, when we were filming, I brought all of my little versions of the
Our earliest
flippin'
set,
dolls.
yeah.
Yeah, I brought all of them, man. Tunneler and Blade.
And is this the one where it's the
Six Shooter.
redesigned versions of the original puppets?
Slightly redesigned, and that's one of the things that I have some slight quips with. And then there's a couple other. There's this weird like frog-looking puppet, but he's the iconic kill they're showing in all the press material, where this guy has like gouged out eyes and he's covered in blood. They're saying this movie is gory as fuck, man. They're saying it's insane. So I don't know. I'm very up for a new Puppet Master movie that really fully delivers on. None of the movies were really incredibly gory consistently. There was like a beat here or there where like Tunneler goes through a Nazi stomach or something, but I can't say, you know, Full Moon was working on limited budgets every time.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I'm hopeful this is awesome, and with all the buzz that I'm seeing from pretty much every critic I respect who's just giving brief thoughts about it, I'm reassured and very excited. So.
All right, well, that's going to do it, guys. So if we want to jump into the comments real quick,
comments, see what Pete's have to say?
Dino's excited about Puppet Master as well. Let's see. Are they using the same puppets? No, like we said, redesigned.
Yeah, just slightly redesigned.
Slightly redesigned.
Yep.
People saying they need to get their horror collection going. Yeah, I didn't see a lot of specific questions. They were all kind of talking amongst themselves.
Yeah, agree with Jaime on the Friday movies. Thank you, Ms. Morning. Yeah, they're just kind of lackluster for me.
How can you not be excited about Hello Fucking Weens? Says Dr. Shrimp Puerto Rico.
I'm not.
We're not excited. Well, he's not excited. I'm not excited. I'm just not as excited as everyone else.
Yeah, I'm not going batshit crazy for the new Halloween movie.
Right.
Like everybody.
Why does the news with booze have 2 zeros? Why can't it have 1 0 like so many other words? Huh? Weekend and triggered. Teddy, I love Teddy.
Yeah, Teddy's a shit.
Rest in peace, Vern Troyer. Yeah, we had a couple of those. R.I.P. Mini-Me. Yep. R.I.P. to Mini-Me. He'd be gone.
Yeah, that made me sad, actually, Mr. Vern Troyer.
So if even Austin Powers comes back now, Mini-Me cannot. That's a bummer. Yep, Ash vs. Evil Dead was canceled, so Wences, yep.
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, we've gone back quite a ways. So, so yeah, thank you guys very much for watching the Horror Show News with Booze. We'll be back to doing it on Sundays. We might have a few less extra streams on Sundays.
It is Sunday today.
So yeah, it is. All right, yeah, I'm not wrong about that. Okay. All right, so thank you guys very much for watching. Until next time, I've been Cecil Laird.
And gracias, I've been Jaime in Fuego.
And remember, stay scared.
And have a drink with us whenever you watch this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Blood.
we're